This story will cover from then to now and next, all about change, how to turn losers into winners. Akyaka in beautiful southwest Turkey. They call it a slow town, mixing a quiet beach with locals, with quite large international hotels in the local style, with the accent on nature, in the grounds, or rather the waters. At the start of the tourist season in April, that beach must be pushed back into shape. Soon the beach will be in business, with the typical palm trees well pruned. And of course the local children are keen to go back to the beach again and help with the preparations. Round the corner, past the port, where it enters Gokova Bay, is the famous Asmak River. Over it, house martins, early migrants from Africa, seem to be collecting nesting material from a fishing line in the wrong place. Above the gardens and satellite dishes, they build their mud nests and be around until the autumn. But for now, signs of spring are everywhere, from the skillful gardeners to the butterflies getting started. Others already have. It's time for a bathe and a preen by the unused pool at the hotel. Or nearly unused. The first tourist, another migrant, this time from Northern Europe. And here's another one on its way to Northern Europe to breed. The sandpiper amongst spring orchids, a subject dear to the heart of award-winning biologist Zafer. Some species are quite common, but there's a much rarer one nearby, which has to be translocated for its own protection.
So every year we go and check the species we found, because if nobody takes them, they still exist at the exact same locations, and if the conditions are, suitable, they have more, members of the same colony, like as this one right now. I can see 4 of them. Next year we can find 5 or 6, depending on the conditions of the climate or nutrients or other things that they need. And they're very beautiful, and they're also endangered because of the massive orchid tuber collection for ice cream and other culinary purposes in Turkey.
A lighter stage of what is a serious matter, the future of rare orchids.
This is cruel. Oh, I got it then. Oh,
yes, this is yours. Enjoy your meal.
The area is fertile, and it's where Zafer goes for fresh strawberries. People here live simply off the land.
Hoş bulduk. Eve alacağız mı? Yemelik mi oldu? Bu çok iyiydi de kar.
But like for everyone, everywhere, plastic is a part of life, and sadly, sometimes death, when it gets into the natural world. Sparrows nest in a nest. And here comes plastic again, a very useful product from oil. Strong, light, long-lasting, sometimes too long perhaps. Tomatoes are big business for small operators, often families. Not only do they have lots of boxes, but the produce is grown warm and fast in plastic greenhouses. But what happens to that often indestructible plastic later on? Rubbish sometimes ends up in the beautifully clear Asmak River, floating amongst the fish, then out to sea, where turtles may die from ingesting the plastics. Coming in from the sea in Gokova Bay are the fishing boats, often owned and run by local families. Another plastic tray, another good catch, now busy with tourists around the notable bridge. This town is a location for a very interesting project involving the fishery. No fishing zones were set up several years ago in an attempt to help fish stocks recover. Zafer has been behind this pioneering project, which could prove to be an example to other places where sustainable fishing is important.
Rambo, çok güzel. Her şey güzel. Harika. Sen neredesin ya?
Abi geldik işte. Right now we're on the fishing boat, actually home of a very senior respected fisherman of Gökova Bay, Ercüment. He lives with his wife on this boat, and he's the almost teacher of every single fisherman in the bay. Everybody knows him, everybody learns something from him, and his fishing methods are totally different than any other person. You can't see any nets, you can't see any long lines. He used totally different techniques nobody knows. And he says, we will interview with him right now, he would like to do something for conservation of fish from now on. Right now he lives in one of the most important no fishing zones. Evet Ercü. Söyle bize bakalım.
Ne söyleyeyim size? Söyleyeyim bakalım.
Neden balıkları korumak istiyorsun? Neden?
Abi neden balıkları korumak istiyorum? Şu geçmiş 50 yılımda neler yaşadım.
He says, okay, we kill them, we finish them for money, right? We are the whole responsibility. We have the whole responsibility for this. So that means if we finish these fishes, now our responsibility to bring them back, to let them survive. So that's why I feel this responsibility on my shoulder. I joined this group. I'm voluntarily right now trying to protect this no fishing zone.
To make this project work needs both money and enforcement. Rangers with special boats keep an eye on this indented coastline, hoping that the fishing families will see the value of specially protected areas, with a view to the long-term future and their livelihoods. Which is here at Gokova Market. As ever, wildlife is not far away. This collared dove is a species that has expanded globally. It's very much at home here over the vegetables. Swallows build nests of mud pellets and sing above the many transactions below. There are many sections on show, not only fish and vegetables.
Keklik satıyor musunuz? Müdür. Keklik geliyor mu? Keklik.
They sell other animals too, seahorses and turtles.
Sen ne yapıyorsun de? Bir yaptığın bir uğraşma mı?
And lizards. On the way back from Gokova, there are the real thing. At the Lycian rock tombs, a tourist attraction.
Really?
This area brings many tourists and seems to have survived well. So have the bee-eaters. Less so the bee-eaters, perhaps. And same for the fish. The Asmak River is home to all sorts of small creatures, a mini jungle in fact. The dragonfly hunts for midges, which it grabs on the wing. On its way downstream, over shoals of fish. Wildlife wetland in Europe is special at all levels. Ospreys search from the sky above. Cormorants from the surface and below. And from the side, these clever snake fishermen. The prey comes in various sizes, bigger and smaller ones. The tongue intrigues them. And the trick works. A catch quickly swallowed. But that's too big and has to go, and they both leave after a fishing trip of mixed success. Sometimes glimpsed in the valuable wetland nearby is that excellent swimmer the otter. Claws and teeth make excellent tools for the job. This is a great place for a boat trip. Past tame geese, hungry tourists, and those simply wanting to see and of course take pictures. In this case, a little unusual. And be careful.
Vallahi.
It's holiday time and time at the Uselin Hotel to welcome what looks like a little hummingbird in the bougainvillea, but it isn't. People don't notice this marvel of nature so next to breakfast and in the lantana, now in full flower. It is in fact a hummingbird hawk moth. Instead of a beak, It uses its long uncurled tongue to drink nectar from each single floret. This amazing precision is achieved with its brilliant wing control. Another flower expert is the essential honeybee, perhaps helping someone just out of town. It's a bee's eye view with a lot of choice. Like all that product at the local market, honey is an important crop, dependent on flowers here and there. Painted lady butterflies are great travellers, welcome decorations to the hotel garden at the end of summer. This swallowtail is also welcome, but for a different reason: food. Seen again, the danger is revealed. Decoration is the name of the game. Akyaka is a successful blend of old and new, traditional and modern. Locals, tourists, and in fact everyone is here because of that attractive combination. The Kite Festival is a celebration against a dramatic backdrop of wild mountains which echo to some typically Turkish music. And dancing. And clapping. And bread making. And fishing, where the No Fishing Zones project is so important to all concerned. Zafer focus of attention in this blend of fishing, wetlands and tourism. His management plan is working well. And the local people are in agreement, so it seems. So what does Zafer, amongst all this, have to say?
Okay, in Akyaka, things are getting really improved. Every year, more people are coming here because this place is getting famous, because this is a very important nature protected area and marine protected area. But this puts extra pressure on resources and infrastructure. On the other side, people learn how sustainability works in Akyaka, both in tourism side and fisheries side. On the fisheries side, No Fishing Zones marine protected area will bring a lot of benefits to local community, and it's already started. Now people are catching more fish, and they learn to respect to nature protected areas. Same thing is also valid on land, and you see this is very important nature protected area, so there's not allowed any more construction. This is it. This is Akyaka. If they keep it like this, this is sustainable.
Another season ends. Time to put the parasols and the sunbeds away. But next year they'll be back in this beautiful place.